Hello, my divine kings and queens. I'm back to do another video. In today's message, what we're going to be talking about is when God allows you to unlock your full potential, right? And see, for a lot of us, we go throughout life and sometimes we don't realize, because of how we've been broken, how powerful we truly are. See, we look at our situation, we look at the circumstance, we say that, we weren't going and battling up against anything that was normal. We weren't placed in normal situations. We were dealing with circumstances that really broke us, really tore us down, really tried to defeat us, right? And hinder us. And for a lot of you, you were around a lot of people that saw that potential in you, right? For some people knew that you were going to achieve great things in your life. And the sad part about it is you were around people who wanted to maintain control over you, over your mind, over your life, so that you would never be able to unlock that full potential. See, these were people who took great fulfillment and pride in having a hand in seeing you struggle and seeing you be without and seeing you hurt. A lot of these people, you would have never broken free had not God came and intercept and intervened on your behalf to pull you out of these situations and to get you away. But see, God did it because he wasn't going to sit up here and allow you to waste your potential, to waste your abilities, your talents, your God-given gifts. Because people want to keep you delayed, and in keeping you broken, it's keeping you down and out. And keeping you broken, it's keeping you in this lack mentality and this stuck mindset. As long as they had control over you, as long as you was down, as long as they was able to trample over you, defeat you, hurt you, abuse you, take from you, it was fine. But the minute that God called you out and started working with you to heal you, to build you back up again, to make you new, to make you whole, it became a problem. But see, God called you out because he said you were never intended to fit in with these people. He saw, like, this is God looking into your situation, and he saw how all these people were just over you, clouded, trying to overcome you, walking all over you like you didn't exist, like they didn't see you, never acknowledging you, never helping you, never supporting you. They just kept walking all over you, stumping all over you, pushing you and throwing you in the back, laughing at you. And for a lot of you, you didn't have the mental capability or the spiritual ability to overcome this evil by yourself. So God literally had to reach in and take you out and pull you out from underneath these people. Pull you away and get you away from these situations, from these people. Because you didn't realize how spiritually sick these people were in their mind and in their spirit. And it's mainly because, like I said, people aren't willing to surrender to change. But see, when it came to you, you didn't resist change. You surrendered to it. And that's why God enabled you to unlock your full potential. He allowed you and showed you how you can heal a broken heart. He showed you how you can do it the proper way, right? Because some people aren't willing to heal themselves. And that's the start of the problem. People not willing to heal themselves because in order to heal yourself, you have to face what it is that you went through. You have to face whatever it is that hurt you. Face whatever it is that broke you. So that those troubles could lead to transformation and those struggles could lead to successes. God had to call you out with him because he was tired of seeing how people were treating you. People literally really tried and fought their hardest to keep you from unlocking your full potential. And it's mainly because of how powerful you are, what you stood to accomplish, and how you stood to show a whole lot of people up had you unlocked your full potential. These unhealed and broken people themselves that were trying to make you feel some type of way about yourself, but in all actuality, that's how they felt about themselves. This is why they kept trying to keep you down, kept trying to make you fit into a certain grouping or a certain category, whatever it is they was trying to place you in. But you didn't fit into there because you was never intended to fit in. God called you out. Hiding truths, but the truth was revealed. And the truth was revealed when you unlocked your full potential and realized who you were. And all of the things that you stood to accomplish in this world. No one could hold you back at this moment, at that point. Because you did what? You unlocked your full potential by not resisting change, but surrendering to change. God showed you how to turn a negative into a positive. You understand what I'm saying? How to channel that energy and let it be the fuel that ignites you and gets you further along your journey so that it can get you closer to unlocking your full potential. A lot of y'all was keeping that stuff buried deep down inside. And that is how the enemy was able to have control over you because you was in denial about a lot of things that you went through, the hurt, the pain. You never gave yourself enough time to properly heal and cry and let that out and release that negativity and release whatever it is that broke you until God called you out and made you. He said, I'm going to need you to face it. I'm going to need you to face that hurt. I'm going to need you to face that pain. I'm going to need you to face whatever it is that broke you, that had you in bondage, that had you broken, that had you delayed, pinned down. I'm going to need you to face it, and I'm going to need you to face it right now. You had to drum all that it is that you had suppressed and pushed deep down inside so that you wouldn't have to face it or address it. And you had to pretty much let that rise back up in you. And you had to really face whatever it is that broke you. And in order to face it, it means sometimes thinking back on how people spoke negative about you, whatever situations they placed you in, how they betrayed you, how they left you for dead. He didn't want you to ponder on it, and he never intended it to, like I said, hurt you or place more hurt on you than you had already went through. He would never place more on us than we can bear, but at the same time, in order to heal, he knew that's what it took for you to properly heal. You had to address it and you had to face it. And in the process of you doing that, it led to you releasing all that pain and that hurt by crying and letting it out because it hurt you. You had to acknowledge that that hurt. I felt that. That hurt me. That cut me. That broke me. It broke me down. That hurt me really bad. For a lot of you, you wasn't even around the right people that allowed you to really face your hurt and your pain because they was too busy throwing up in your face what you had done and judging you. So you never truly had the space to properly heal until God called you out and made you face it. And then how he was able to do it by you releasing and crying all that pain and all that worry out, he was able to capture that negativity, get rid of it, throw it out of your life, and replace it with positive energy. And he surrounded you with his love. And then he told you it's time to get up now. Now it's time to put in that work because you got things to do. To whom much is given, much is expected and required. And he was going to make sure that you unlocked and stepped into your full potential. And see what happened is it's like when he called you out, He said, now look at all these people that were sitting up here saying all these things about you. Look at all these people who were sitting up here trying to make you feel some type of way. You see why I called you out? Because all of these people were followers. These people were fake. These people were weak in spirit. A lot of these people were broken and unhealed themselves. You weren't in a good space as long as you was around these people who wanted to keep you down, these people who didn't want you to step into your full potential, these people who were intimidated of you, these people who hated you because of your light, these people of whom you disturbed because of how positive you were, because of your energy. You weren't around the people who was on, y'all wasn't on the same vibration. Whoever these people that you was around, that God had to get you away from. Y'all wasn't on the same vibration. This is why you went through so much hell. This is why you had to battle and go up against so much hate and evil and opposition. Because these people never wanted it or intended it to be you. But they didn't understand that they don't have no say-so in who God chooses to bless. And that was you. And these people hated that it was you. These people hated that you were chosen. These people hated that you had favor over your life. And so they did everything that these could. These people been doing this. Some of these people been doing this for years. But in God calling you away from these people, he said, I'm going to give you a fighting chance. And I'm going to balance things out and I'm going to make it fair. The very same people that wanted you to be in a balancing act in your life when it came to finances, when it came to career and love, that's what these people are about to be going through while God called you out and was healing you. And some of y'all didn't even understand why he was calling you out. And it's only because of how broken you were. You had succumbed and became complacent in being in that energy and being in this setting and being around these people until God called you out and said, no, it's time for you to step and unlock your full potential because you are destined for greatness. I have something bigger and better planned for you. I got great plans for your life. I got things I need you to accomplish. It's time. It is time. And so for a lot of you, you didn't even understand why God was calling you out. You didn't even understand why you was even going and battling and going up against whatever it is that you was going up against. But see, when God has a plan over your life, he's not going to take no for an answer. He's not going to allow you to keep dragging your feet when it comes to the purpose that he has over your life. He's going to make sure, come hell or high water, that you step into your full potential and that you fulfill your purpose. And you step into your calling. He had to show you the ropes because y'all was so broken, it didn't make any sense. He really had to take his time with you. But in him taking his time with you and showing you the necessary steps in the process of what you had to go through to properly heal, it made you stronger and it made you wiser. God ain't new to this, he true to this. He's already been through this. He called you out in the wilderness with him. He's been through this. He's faced evil. He's overcome evil. The devil even tried to tempt him. For 40 days and for 40 nights that he was on that mountain, he was tempted 3 times. 3 times. When he was on that mountain for 40 days and for 40 nights, he was tempted 3 times. And all 3 times he did not give in. He went without food. He went without water for 40 days and for 40 nights. And he did not give in to temptation. He did not give in to evil. He spoke against it and he stood his ground. And see, that's for a lot of you that you guys did not have, you were not in the best mindset. You were not in the right space. You didn't have the mental capability or the spiritual ability to overcome this evil. God had to step in and intercept and intervene on your behalf. And it's all because of the things that he needed you to accomplish in this lifetime. And you were going to accomplish it by stepping into your full potential. So as he was showing you the ropes of how you can overcome this evil by not giving in to temptation, by properly healing, by taking back control, taking back power over your life. God had to break some foundations up in your life because, see, y'all was holding on to things, investing into things, building foundations with people that God didn't intend for you to build them with. So it took him having to break those foundations in order to loose you and free you from these people, to build you back up again, to make you whole, to allow you to step into a new season of your life, to allow you to have a new beginning in your life so that you can build the right foundation for your life. And a part of that was unlocking your full potential and believing in you and knowing who you are and what you're capable of. These people knew it, which is why they fought you so hard, so that you wouldn't see it, so that you wouldn't realize it. These people, like I said, you know, when you are dealing with enemies, when you're dealing with people who don't believe in Christ, when you're dealing with people who don't believe in the Most High, when you're dealing with people who don't believe that a higher power truly exists, it's like the type of mindset that these people had was, God don't do anything for me. If I sit up here and I get a job, it's because I put in an application and I had the qualifications, and that's why I got hired. They don't believe that miracles can be performed in people's lives. And for some who call themselves believers, it's almost as if they were saying that, okay, I believe in God, and I know that God is a way maker, I know that God is a miracle worker, I know that God is capable of blessing me, I know that God is capable of taking me here, I know that God is making that God is possible, and through him all things are possible. And as long as I believe, and as long as I keep continuing to hold on to his word and hold on to his hand, that he will make a way where there's no way. But see, it's almost as if when he finally and truly did that for you, because you listened, because you didn't resist change, but you surrendered to change, it's like they was looking at you like, hold on, oh, so God really do perform miracles? So God is really out here giving blessing people? Hold on, so God really is capable of doing what it is that he say he'll do? But isn't this what they claim to believe the whole time? But when they see that a miracle was performed in your life, they was in shock. And then for those who didn't even believe in God, they thought that you were lying about whatever it is that you said that you was going through, because they say ain't no way a person go through all this and come out the way that you did. There's no way that a person can go through something of a circumstance like that or a situation like that and still live their life like normal, talk like normal, move the way that they're moving. But see, they didn't even understand that these people, like I said, knew what it is, wherever it is that you went through, that you wasn't lying about it. These people just didn't want to give God the recognition and the praise that he deserved. They didn't want to acknowledge him. So by discrediting you, it's discrediting God, that he don't exist, that he didn't do whatever it is that you said he did for you, because they didn't even believe that you went through what you said you went through. But like I said, when you look back over your life, and these people look back over your life, the way that you used to live ain't how you're living right now. You had a massive upgrade up in your life. A massive upgrade in your life. Look back over your life and how you used to live. Look back over your life and how you used to think. Look back over your life and how you used to talk. It's not the same. Because of God working in your life. Because of God blessing you in your life. That was nothing short of a miracle. You called on God. And you asked him for help, and you asked him for guidance. And because you did that, he was able to see and get you through. and get you on the right path that you needed to be on, and stepping into and unlocking your full potential. God was trying to show you these people don't have control over you. They don't have no say-so over your life, whether they believe you or not. Because, see, the truth will be revealed once you unlock your full potential. They're going to see in the way that you're talking, in the way that you're living. They're going to know who was working with you. They're going to know who was blessing you. They're going to know who was guiding you and protecting you and walking with you. They see it now. They say, well, hold on, where this person learn how to say this and talk like this? How they start living like this? Where that came from? Well, they said that they went through this and went through X, Y, and Z. Now they ain't go through all that. Ain't no way they went through all that. They didn't even look like they went through all that. They ain't even talking and living like they went through all that, man. They just lying. Then they keep watching you and keep seeing how you keep pushing forward in life. How you keep changing and transforming yourself and elevating in life. And then they say, well, hold on. They is talking totally different. You got to listen to this. They is living totally different. You got to see this. Well, dang, what does person learn how to talk about healing? And what does person learn how to sit up here and create this for themselves and manifest their reality? How they know how to do this and make this happen for themselves? How they know about all this? They wasn't talking about God like this before. Dang, maybe they really did go through whatever it is they said that they went through. That's the type of conversations that people was having about you. Instead of looking the first time and seeing like, okay, God is actually working in this person's life. Maybe God is actually or have done the things that he said that he's done for them. They didn't believe you. God showed you didn't need no one to believe in you but him. You didn't need no one to walk with you but him. You didn't need no one else's support, love, or guidance but his. Because he blocked all these people's attacks and trying to harm you, to delay you, to stagnate you. And he allowed it to actually told you, listen, for every attack, for every word, for every action that was taken up against you, let that be the fuel that pushes you further on your journey, that pushes you further towards reaching your goals, that pushes you further into stepping into and unlocking your full potential, because these people no longer have control over you. I've pulled you out and gotten you away from these situations and these people. Some people became real comfortable and complacent in living in that darkness that they was in. Because to stepping into the light and acknowledge who they are and the things that they've done and how they've been abused themselves, just look at it. If a person can say all these things about someone, none of us are perfect, but if a person can go so hard up against a person to throw them under the bus, to slander them, to try to attack them so that they don't step into their full potential, so that they don't have the things that God said that you was destined to have, you have to look at it. Look at how powerful you are. You got to be some kind of powerful for all these people to group up together to hate you so bad, to try to keep you delayed in life so that you wouldn't step into and have all the things that God said that you would have in life. You would never do this to these people, but they did it to you because they saw your potential. They knew what you was capable of. They knew what you was going to step into. You got to look at that. And whosoever and whatsoever, whatever it is that the actions that they took against you, you have to look at it how broken they must have been. All that toxicity and negativity that they must have grew up in order to be the way that they are today. They're that way because they allowed themselves to become complacent in that energy and being low vibrational, not choosing to heal or address the hurts and the traumas that they've gone through. And they've gotten so used to becoming that way, living that way, that over the years it's gotten worse. They have no regard for people, how they treat people, the things they say to people, what they do to people, because they're hurt themselves. a lot of these people wanted you down and miserable just like them. They wanted you struggling just like them. They didn't want it to be you. They didn't want you to step and unlock your full potential, because I tell you, you stood to show a lot of people up. A lot of people who were saying things about you. A lot of people who hated and despised you, who was jealous of you. If you would have reached that finish line and unlocked your full potential, a lot of truths would have been revealed about who you are, who you've been this whole time, and who these people truly are. Truths would have been revealed. And a lot of people would have seen you step into and receive everything that it is that God intended you to have. These people wanted you down so bad. But a lot of people are realizing that when God wants something for your life, it does not matter who go up against you. It does not matter who wants a certain outcome for your life. It does not matter how these people feel towards you. What God wants for you, it will happen for you. What God wants to give you, you will receive. What God wants you to step into, you will step into it. The life that God intended you to have is the life that you shall live. It doesn't matter who says anything about you. It doesn't matter what you've gone through, because He called you out so that He can show you the ropes. He can show you the process. He can show you the steps that you needed to take in order to get there. He showed you how to properly heal your heart where people had broken you. He showed you how to overcome this evil. He showed you how to overcome your trials and your tribulations and your struggles. He showed you how things can become so much better once you just surrender to change instead of resisting it. And you've lost a lot of people along the way. But a lot of these people that you lost, you realize, really didn't have your best interests at heart anyway. So you losing them was a blessing. God delivering you from them was a blessing. God getting you away from them was a blessing. He was tired of you being broken by people who never intended to invest back into you, never had your best intentions at heart, never wanted to love you, didn't know how to love you, never intended to be real by you, support you. People who hated you, was jealous of you, looked down on you. God had to call you away. He had to call you out. And it's like when you got called out, all these people that were moving like they so busy, they so better, they're doing this, they're doing this. It's like a pause. A complete pause happened when God called you out. And now these people were just focused on whatever it is that you were stepping into. Focused on what God was doing for your life. Focused on how you was changing, how you was transforming, how you was elevating. But it was nothing that they could do but watch. Because God gave you the resources, the support, and the love that you needed, that you deserved, to get you to where you needed to be, to unlock and step into your full potential. And there's nothing that nobody can do moving forward to stop you. Full speed ahead into the blessings that God has for you. Full speed ahead into living your best life. Full speed ahead into having this new beginning. Because God say, I'm going to do what's fair. I'm going to do what's fair. And I'm going to balance out this situation. Because for a lot of you, you didn't deserve what you went through. And a whole lot of people who didn't believe that you went through what you went through is because they know it's not normal. And had they been placed in that situation, they probably wouldn't have been able to overcome it the way that you did. They don't understand It's them looking at your life and looking at everything that you said you went through, and they're seeing how you overcame it, and you're here. And it just doesn't make sense to these people. They can't seem to fathom how someone like you was able to get through all this the way that you did. And now you're living the way that you're living. For some, you inspired them to get on a path. And for some, that same envy and jealousy that led them to trying to keep you stuck and delayed, they still got that same envy and jealousy now. But they realize that nothing that they do is going to affect you. You've already unlocked your full potential. It ain't nothing that nobody can do to stop you or delay you anymore. You are stepping into what it is that God has for you. You are becoming a new person, a better you. And everything that is happening for you is everything that you're deserving of, because of you listening and believing that God had a bigger and better plan for you. And you not resisting him, but you surrendering and giving in to change. And you made those necessary changes in your life to grow, to heal, and to elevate. So everything that is coming your way, everything that you stand to gain and achieve in this life, you are very well deserving of it. You did the work. You did the healing. You forgave a lot of people. You let go and released a lot of people. And you're stepping into a new phase of your life that is positive, is happy, is peaceful. And that's what you're deserving of, because you realize who you are. So no one can keep you back or delayed. You won't allow it. And so until next time, I want you guys to stay prayed up and be blessed. I want you to understand that if you need a friend, you got it in me. If you need love, you got it in me. If you need inspiration, motivation, and life example, you already know you got it in me. I'm your sister. I'm your friend. You already know I come with that real, never that fake. I keep it 100 with you. I keep it a buck with you. I'm so proud of you, of everything that it is that you're accomplishing. I am so proud that God didn't give up on you, that he never left you, that he didn't allow these people to have their way with you, because you was dealing with some evil people, people who need to heal. Everyone should be happy of everyone's successes and come-ups in life, especially if people know what it is that you've gone through and knew all that hell you had to go through in order to get to where you are in life. You should have had more people being supportive and happy for you. But things happen for a reason. You know, we had to encounter these people. And like I say, they serve their purpose. So you forgive these people and you continue to move forward in your life, because they served their purpose. They did what they were supposed to do. And that was take these actions against you, do whatever it is that they did to you, so that you can open your eyes to see who they are, and God can call you out and take you to where you need to be. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so happy for you. And I want y'all to keep pushing. I want y'all to keep holding your head up high. Never let nobody see you sweat. And until next time, I want you to stay prayed up and be blessed. I love y'all.